Hi everyone, it's Roll Klein and welcome back to another movie of the week. And the movie of this week was Tenet from 2022. Okay, I'm editing now and I never do this, but I have to do this. The movie is from 2020. I literally, this entire thing kept saying 2022 and I was like, wait, this makes sense. Why did I watch it? Because you'll see in the next part I say I watched it twice on my birthday in 2022. No, I didn't. That was 2020. The movie's from 2020. I apologize. Anytime the rest of this I say 2022, I apologize. If this is your first movie of the week, what I do is I talk about a movie here. You comment below your thoughts, and at the end of every video, I say the movie for next week so you can follow along. So if you haven't watched Tenet, watch it now. Now, this is one of our most recent movies we've done, I think, with Everything Everywhere All at Once. We also did that, and that was in 2022. Came out in 2022, and so with Tenet came out. I don't remember exactly when, but I remember I watched it for the first time the week of my birthday last year, and then I watched it twice on my birthday. So in a matter of 1 week, I watched it 3 times trying to understand this movie, and I wanted to do it for movie of the week. This is going to be posted on June 4th. Obviously, it's a couple weeks before June 4th. My birthday is June 3rd, so I wanted to do it close to my birthday, a year later thing. I clearly am in denial that I'm 23, turning 23, that I literally, COVID took 2 years of my life, and I thought 2020 was last year. Clearly, I don't know where my mind is. Clearly. Now, Christopher Nolan, he always likes to do movies that have to deal with time. Interstellar, Inception, the Batman movies, I don't remember with them, but this is definitely one to do with time and time travel, which is a concept that I always ask people, when I meet them, because you can it's not just how someone answers about time travel, it's the way they answer, if they're willing to talk about it and discuss it, those things. But it's always with time travel, this is a concept of time travel that I have never seen before, and it's very, very complicated. So obviously, spoilers ahead, but I think the fact that it's they're just going backwards, everything's inverted. That's where the concept comes from. Now, this is a movie I think he did on purpose, where it's you have to watch it multiple times, because you really do. And still, my 4th time watching this, I'm very confused with a lot of aspects to it. I also feel with the writing, it just moves so fast, where it's like they say things and they mean so much. They'll say one sentence that has 5 words, and they mean so much from that sentence, but it's you're not quick. It moves fast, it moves quick, it jumps from scene to scene, especially at the beginning when they're he's trying to figure out what's happening and what's going on and everything. So that's another thing that I feel my 4th time watching it this time, even though I did forget a lot of scenes that happen, I do think with my 4th time I'm able to understand more, and I think every time I watch it I'm able to understand more. It's just because you're trying to think about it reverse, and you're trying to figure it out, especially the car chase scene. That was the one scene that I was it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, because the part that doesn't make sense to me is when he takes her. Because if I'm okay, if you think about it from the bad guy's perspective, don't know their names, bad guy's perspective, he waits until the whole car scene thing happens, then he goes and he's they also, that's the thing, they call him the protagonist. So we're gonna call him protagonist, because that's actually what his character's name. He doesn't have a real name. I don't know. But he goes and he's is it really here? Is it really here? And then he says yes, and then he goes and shoots her on the thing, because he just saw him shoot her. That had to be, yeah, that's from his perspective. And then he goes, and then I think he takes her hostage, right? But then but like, how did she get there? And then it's the car chase scene. See, this is why I'm so confused, because now I'm like confused. I'm trying to think about it. Like, if you try to break down each character and think about it in perspective, that's what confuses me, is like, when did he get her? Like, when did he have hold of her? Like, because she was in the other room. But it's like, from their perspective, he like brought her in there, but like from his perspective, she was already there and he was bringing her out. Because that's like, that's why it's so confusing. But I do think it's really great that like it was him fighting himself, because, you know, your first time watching it, you have no idea, and then you see it later in the movie, it's him fighting himself. And so it's amazing. And then I also want to talk about, like, I don't even know how they film all those reverse scenes, especially, you know, the scene where they're fighting each other. Like, how did they film those? Like, how did he work with stunt doubles or artists, or what, I don't know what they're called, the people who design, who like plan the whole fight scene out, whatever. How did they figure out? Because then they had to like think, like, it's kind of like out of this world kind of filmmaking, where it's like, it's another level where it's like, I can't even process it. And then also, I think something that cleared me up is that, so when the bad guy, after he steals the thing, he goes back to the time that's on the boat. And so when he's like talking to his wife, he thinks that it's like he's the old guy, he's like the guy in the future, and he thinks she's the present, but she's also in the future. And so she kills him. But like the present him is still alive, I think. And that's something I didn't really understand before, but I think this is right. I don't know if it's right. It could be totally wrong. And so then you know, in the future, then when she like lives to the future or whatever, like he's no longer alive. Like, after the whole car chase scene, he's no longer alive, because he like went back to that time, but then he was killed in that time. And then the whole like last scene with like all the battle stuff and Robert Pattinson like changing sides in reverse, it was just like, in the end, he like sees that he has to reverse, and then he has to reverse again, and he sees that he dies, but then he has to like reverse. It's another level. This movie is just so confusing, and I can watch it like 10 more times and still be confused. I maybe like need to like have a talk with Christopher Nolan, if I'm ever lucky to talk to him, and like try to break it down and have him explain to me with like diagrams or anything. So if this is your first time watching Tenet, you're probably like, I need to watch it again. And probably after, you know, this talk, I'm sure some of you will watch it again if you watch these videos. So I don't even, my head hurts just thinking about all of it. Anyway, so comment below your thoughts about Tenet, because yeah, we're confused out here. And then the movie for next week is Singing in the Rain from 1952. So comment below about Tenet, watch Singing in the Rain for next week. Thank you guys for watching, like, comment, subscribe, and bye.